That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Good to go.
When we say junk, it's not junk. Even SHIT is not junk. It is incredible design structure there. If you study that, you will see there is atoms, the same atoms that you eat or in your body.
I have a fundamental problem with you using the word design.
Yeah.
I have a fundamental problem with you using the word create.
Isn't atom a great construction design?
I have a fundamental problem with
Tell me, what
design
is it?
and construction.
Tell me.
We're talking about physics here.
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking about, you know, the chain reactions that happen at the molecular level, at the atomic level. This is not design. This is how chemicals interact with each other, how gravity works, how the chemicals interact with gravity, and how evolution occurs throughout the universe that you know of.
Okay.
Evolution is predictable, evolution is seeable, and we're talking about chemical reactions, reproducible, visible, supportable chemical reactions that happen totally without an intelligent being, totally without a being.
Oh, you're ignoring the laws.
No,
Well,
if I talk about the
laws,
laws,
they don't happen just haphazardly. They follow the rules. Therefore, there is some laws over there. You didn't really account for how these laws came about.
and
Did
you haven't accounted for the multiverse theory.
Oh, good.
Now,
We'll
if we're
talk
going to talk
multiverse.
about multiverse theory, we're not just talking about.
A new rabbit in the hat, getting out, multiverse. We'll
Well,
call
you
this.
know, like I said,
You are-
we can't be dogmatic, and I'm not
Yes.
saying that I know everything, and I'm not saying that I'm an expert on this, but the laws in this universe are consistent with the. You know, that they helped our life, you know, our life exists because of the laws in this universe. But the multiverse theory says that there are infinite numbers of universes.
And there are infinite numbers used, sometimes with blue socks and with 3 eyes.
No,
in
not
that
infinite
universe.
numbers of me.
Oh, it is. According to infinite theory, every second, almost infinite numbers of you is happening, creating different.
Oh, I've heard that too. That makes my head hurt.
Beautiful. Isn't it the fairies of all tales even more fairies than religious tales? And there is no shred of evidence for that. But because scientists in robes, they say that, we believe that, correct?
I don't believe it. I question it.
But you will
I-
say
I-
scientists
but
are
I-
more reliable than religious people.
Of
to get
course,
me back.
they're not making it up.
Yes.
Scientists don't make this
At
stuff
least they
up.
speculate. They may be wrong, but at least in the past, the record shows they are more reliable than religious people.
Well, of
correct?
course, and they use reason and logic
Beautiful.
to
But still,
support.
it is very difficult to.
To propose the multiverse theory, it's above my
Yeah,
head.
okay.
The
Okay,
multiverse
let's
theory
pass
is
it.
above
It's
my
not
head.
my
But it's a better explanation in my head
Okay.
than a God
Oh.
who itself
Okay.
doesn't have a creator.
Okay, I will talk about that. Oh,
You know, so when you're
you,
talking about, so you're just
you don't
taking
have
the
problem
argument-
about matter having no creator,
No, I don't have a problem with matter having no creator.
but you have problem with out of this box having creator, engineer out of this assembly line. You have problem with engineer out of the factory. You want engineer to be inside the factory. You don't believe if you see an automated assembly line, you say, well, everything must be here.
Your analogy is flawed.
Good.
We're not talking about a factory, we're talking about a universe. It's an open system. Okay, a factory is a closed system. You're talking about the universe, it's an open system.
But a moment ago, you were trying to get out of this universe to multi-universe, out of the box, in order to deny God. A moment ago, you came up with multi-universe, not
I
me.
did not do it in order to deny God. I
Well,
did it in order
it
to
was in-
explain some of the things that we know.
No, it was in-
okay?
we are discussing God.
If we're talking about God, if we're talking about saying, okay, I don't accept that all this matter in the universe came out of nothing. By the way, everything that we know about matter and energy says that it's permanent. Everything that we know says that it's permanent. Whether it comes in and out of dimensions or not, people are speculating that, but matter can't be created or destroyed. So that means it's
So
eternal.
far, we don't know. Until it is destroyed, then will be destroyed, we'll not know.
And then we change our theories,
Yes,
now, don't
correct.
we?
But
Okay?
until
Once
so
we
far-
get evidence,
Yeah.
once we get evidence to the
Yeah,
contrary,
yeah.
we change our
Yeah.
theories. Otherwise, we're dogmatists.
Okay,
Okay.
beautiful.
But what you're saying is, okay, I don't accept that matter and energy are eternal. I accept only that the matter and energy and the laws around them are created by a creator, and that creator is eternal. So what I'm doing is calling you on your myth, not saying that I like it. Okay? What I'm saying is that if you say matter and energy can't be eternal, I don't like that. I like it much better that it was created by a creator. Then you're just shifting the question out one level.
I will give you examples why I believe, not I believe, I know there is a creator, intelligent creator, designer, and I will give you some examples. Hopefully we'll have little time to discuss that.
Okay.
But before that, I want to, have you read Dawkins' book? Okay. Dawkins, he's a smart guy.
Yes.
But he's also, when it comes some issues, he's absolutely, I see, dogmatic and prejudiced and blind.
Okay.
I give you one example out of several, but just one example, we don't have time. He says, well, evolution, random mutation could easily create things. Here it is. I made a program, I don't know whether you are familiar, a computer program, simple, that give a kind of random pixels, move around randomly, and then they come together randomly and create some complex pattern designs.
I think I know what you're talking about, yeah.
And then he says, well, if this can happen, why not that one? And this is so flawed argument. I expected much intelligent argument from this guy. And because he takes for granted the matter that he has, he takes for granted the time that he has, he takes granted space he has, he takes granted the pixels, the screen, the input, this medium keyboard. He takes granted his mind that puts simple, in quote, command that how to behave randomly. And all these things he takes, the energy he takes for granted, boom, things came just randomly. Goodness sake. Time,
well,
matter,
Dawkins is
energy.
a biologist.
Yes, but this example he gives it has no similarity between how lives come about. Absolutely ridiculous. He takes granted. He doesn't account any of those most important things. And then he says, well, it came about just randomly.
You're flawed.
Yes, go ahead.
Dawkins is an evolutionary biologist.
Yes.
He is not a cosmologist. He does not talk about how
they are not divorced from each other. They are integrated. You cannot say, well,
he's not a cosmologist.
I know, but this example, do you agree with this example? Does it make sense?
Yes, of course it does. When you're talking about starting with something that is not zero and working with something that is not zero and seeing how it evolves over time given certain circumstances, that's a good analogy. What you're saying is, well, I don't like that analogy because it assumes it starts from a non-zero point. And that's what your point, and that's what your problem is. Your problem is that evolutionary biologists don't start at the 0 point.
First of all,
cosmologists start at the 0 point.
Another assumption that there is randomness. No randomness, my dear. Even in computer, there's no randomness. There is some deterministic things about this pixel moving. You cannot, we call it random if you don't know. We are not able to follow it. But it doesn't mean objectively on its own there is absolute randomness. Okay,
That's not a relevant point, though.
Okay.
The chain reactions still happen, whether they're random or predetermined. They still happen.
I want to come to Quran.
Okay.
Have you heard about it?
I've heard about it, yeah.
Aha. And you have this Muhammad's picture.
He's there for a reason.
Okay, well, tell me the reason.
Okay, so as you know very well.
Where is the bomb?
Oh, the bomb fell off.
Okay.
The bomb fell off.
Okay, go ahead, tell me.
This was given to me by the roommate of a friend of mine who died.
Okay.
And it's here on stage for a very specific reason.
Go ahead. No, it was there. I brought here.
Well, it was there.
Okay.
It was there because of the reason that it's here.
See. Okay. Tell me.
Now, in the 1960s and 70s, there was an activist named Bill Baird.
Okay.
Bill Baird was a women's rights activist.
Okay.
He was famous for promoting birth control and promoting abortion rights.
Mm-hmm.
Very famous, very good guy. I've met him once. He's very inspiring to me. One time he got arrested. He got arrested many times. One time he got arrested, he was wearing a tie clip that was an IUD, an intrauterine device, a birth control device. Okay? At that time, it was illegal to show any birth control devices in any press. When he got arrested, a whole bunch of press took his picture and put his picture behind handcuffs being led away to prison with a tie tack, okay? Therefore, he forced all those newspapers, all those TV stations to break the law.
Okay.
This is what Muhammad is doing. Muhammad is here because there are demands for us to censor the image of Muhammad from some Muslim extremists. They, and the stations are doing it. The stations are doing it, and this is repugnant to me. This is not an anti-Islam statement. It's an anti-censorship statement. We put that on our stage because when we show this show, when we show the show that we tape on this stage on 50 cable stations, those cable stations, they break that.
Okay.
And they break it hard.
Okay, here is I have problem. I don't have problem with depicting Muhammad as a human being with the beard and stuff, no problem. But when you put bomb, it is a really political statement. It is, I see, a false propaganda because there is a big Western media depicting Muslims as terrorists, and the word terrorism, Muslim, is juxtaposed, repeated many times, and people start, okay, Islam means terrorism. But when we look at the facts on the ground, just like 10 years, 20 years, Western world Christianity killed many, many, many more people than Muslims killed. But if a gang terrorist kills few thousand people, but states kill few millions of people, and we don't call states terrorists, and they kill civilians, they destroy cities, just on the whim, newborn Christian crusader George Bush, they decided to invade Iraq, they fabricated lies, and they killed, according to Western medical account and doctor's account, 1 million people died, many injured, many orphaned, and still the United States or Christians are not called terrorists.
Correct.
Yeah, and therefore, if I say if Muslims are terrorists, which majority, I disagree with almost all Muslims. I am heretic in their eyes, I'm apostate, I should be killed. But there are few people who are really, we can call them terrorists or violent. Most of them peaceful, maybe ignorant people. Some of them very well educated, better educated than some many Christians too. But if Muslims are terrorists, then Christians are 666 times terrorists design same. Just I'm looking at sheer numbers.
Interesting choice.